All right, we are on to the next session. We're going to juggle the order a little bit here because Greg is on his vacation and hasn't, and we are running ahead of schedule. So, you guys want to take over with the IOHints and CephFS and let us know what you're working on.
Okay. This time on BP is an IOHint in CephFS. For the IOHint in Ceph, we already sent 2 BP in the previous CDF. This BP is the continuation of the previous BP. The first page is the overview about this BP. We propose a general framework based on CJ's previous proposal to better control resource operations that might have special alignment, cache ability, and expected object size requirement. Those IOHints will enable readers to enforce intelligent allocation and injection policy on memory disk usage. For self-cluster, the length of our path is long than local storage and have more components, especially have many cache models. It's difficult to make low-layer node have model. So the purpose is make all component of self-cluster, especially different cache model, node our model, and take right action for cache model, cache data or node, or unique data or node. Currently, we only use the flag of advice, but in the future, we may use other flags. So we implemented a framework which can easily extend the flags in the future. This picture is the state of IOHint in self-cluster. Now we and IOHint in those fields. In lab readers, lab RBD, we and relative API and handle in lab RBD cache and handle in cache theory and handle in OSD. Make some background like promote object scrub or pull copy. We use IOHint. But for MDS generate and the CephFS data, kernel client and F-user client, and in RBD kernel client and the background like FNCK, we don't implement IOHint. So this picture is the tail of the implementation. For MDS generate, like OSD generate, in the most cases, the data of the generate don't read again, and later will be overwrite. So we can set don't need when run the MDS generate data. For CephFS client, in fact, with Cisco POSIX F advice, it only affects the page cache of the kernel. It don't affect background storage. For CephFS, when we use POSIX F advice, it don't transport the F advice flag to the OSD. It affects only the page cache of the client. So we should put those. So we should pass those F advice flags into Ceph clients to get better performance, like the like the new API in LabRadars and LabRBD. But because the implementation of F-device in kernel is made difficult to pass F-device flag to data pool. For example, if we use a sync model, we send data to the page cache, but the background thread write back don't know the F-device flags. Maybe we only set F-device flags in a sync model like ODirect. And mount F-device option for different sub-DIR, because Ceph can mount sub-DIR. So we can set different director with different F-device flags. For example, if some director with data don't need cache, so we can mount with don't need flags. Because CephFS have more data pool, so we can set different policies for different data pool. But for example, some data pool will run the larger file, and some will run the small file. But it need more handle in ODD. Okay.
Sam, how you doing there?
What's that?
Any question?
Yeah, so you noted that it's hard to implement this in the kernel client to get the actual flag from FFI, since the writeback thread doesn't know what the actual IO originally was done with. But does Fuse handle the FFI's call directly? Would the user space client be able to handle the FFI's call directly?
Yeah, currently I think we have already added some kind of command line to set the entire pool to some kind of IOHint. This is the way that this is one way for the user space to use this hint, and for the CephFS, actually we think when we mount a specific dictionary, we can pass some hint here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Actually, letting the user space to pass the hint down to the F-device, the entire IOHinting framework, we need to change kind of the application level things, or to change the QEMU driver things. This is pretty difficult at this moment, but probably in the future we can leverage the third-party software like DSS to do that job. So currently, they are only limited with to passing the hint from the user space to the IOHinting framework.
Right, that makes sense. In terms of the options for like mounting CephFS, it seems like it would make more sense to have the policy defined in terms of subdirectories, maybe, instead of defined in terms of which pools they're stored in.
Okay, that also makes sense.
That's more visible to the end user.
It's more. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
But I was wondering about the CephFS. Go ahead. Okay,
so I think that actually for the this IOHinting actually start from like 2 releases ago. We have already added the IOHinting support in the LibRadars layer, and in the Rados layer. So currently the problem is that we want to enable as many as possible client interface to use this framework. So that's where we starting from the libIBD part, and also we trying to edit it for the for the CephFS part. So in the future, once the Intel code path has been completed and the different component of the interfaces can support our hinting, so we can leverage some other kind of tools to provide more hint to using this Intel framework to do more to do better handling on the catching based on the hint. And the other possible way is we can also leverage some catching in the Rados layer to do better catch handling instead of FDVICE only.
Mm-hmm. What kind of more generic caching flags do you think are you thinking about?
There is some patch finding work using the Intel cache, which maybe in the future we can leverage flash catch or bcatch or something like this to do that job.
I'm sorry, what was what hint?
But can you repeat your question?
I didn't quite follow what you just said. What was that?
Oh, I mean, this our hinting work is actually provided a framework to take the hint, right? So currently in the Rados layer, we use FDVICE to instrument how the file system or how the kernel OSD kernel handling those our requests. But if we can build another catch layer there or some kind of other catch mechanism, we can better use this kind of hint to handle our more efficiently.
Right. Yes, that's true.
So for the other value of this our hinting work is actually in some common scenarios. For example, when doing replicating or EC scenario, we have a general idea of what kind of IO request this type is. We can set that hint according to the work, the internal traffic, something like that. So in this way, we don't need the input from the user space or from the application. Okay. Any more questions on the our hint support for CephFS?
Not on CephFS, but have you thought about how it could work for the Rados gateway?
Not yet. For the Rados gateway, I'm not sure how the hinting can be passed from the Rados gateway to the OSD side. Actually, we can take that all. Okay. That's maybe the next step we probably can do.
It seems like for a lot of use cases.
If for the Rados gateway, since if the user is trying to store like many small objects, maybe the hinting work here can do some better job to handle those small kind of requests, those kind of small requests. Yeah. But this also needs some application or something to provide the hint. Currently, the issue with this is we only providing a framework. We don't know what type of hint we don't know what type of hint our request is.
Right. It seems like for many use cases in the Rados gateway, things are written once and then potentially read later, but often not. So just maybe even having it as an option, just defaulting to having any kind of writes with the Rados gateway being sent with the don't use or don't need flag might make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that's based on assumption that it is kind of code storage that we we write once and maybe read many times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense. We probably can add that support in in this blueprint.
Yeah, I don't think it even needs a full-fledged blueprint for that, something like that. It can just be a new pull request.
Yeah.
For this one, this was a short one. John, you guys have anything else, or is this it?
No, this is pretty much the update on this feature. It's pretty simple. It's a continued feature enabling for the, I think for the IOHinting framework. We are trying to adding the IOHint support for the CephFS.
Okay.
And it's also good suggestion to add it for the Rados gateway.
That sounds good. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Okay.